Hello crafty friends, this is the Papered Chef here. Today I am cleaning and resticking mats for the Brother ScanNCut. It doesn't matter which mats you have, the process is the same. I'm going to show you how I wash them and try to get off some of the residue, how I do that. I'm going to show you how to restick them using what's called two-way glue. And so you'll just need your mats, some Dawn soap, some warm water, and some paper towels and some painter's tape. So that's what you're going to need for this. So what I've done so far is I've wet the mat with warm water. It's pretty warm, and now I'm taking a sponge and I'm scraping off the adhesive. Okay, so this, you can use this sponge too, but don't use it for dishes afterwards. Okay, so like if you're going to get adhesive on your sponge, don't use it for dishes. I also like to scrape, and not just use a sponge, but I like to scrape off the residue. Okay, so you see how that's getting dirty? It looks dirty, but that's just the residue from the adhesive. And it's all mixed in with sort of like paper scraps or paper lint. So that's why I'm trying to get this adhesive off. You don't really need to get it all off because it gives a little something for your glue to adhere to when you put new glue on it. I'm just trying to get most of it off. I'm really concerned about the paper. Let me move this up so you can see that. I'm concerned about the paper lint. That's what this little pile of goo is. It almost looks like, if you've ever recycled paper, you get all those fibers in there. So I'm scraping, I'm scrubbing, I'm using warm water. I'm going to clean 2 mats today. Shout out to my sister. These are her mats. I borrowed her ScanNCut while I'm traveling. And one of her mats, this is in better shape. These are, by the way, for the CM350, but it doesn't really matter because the process is the same. I've done the resticking to every kind of mat Brother makes. So here's the mats, but this one has some, you see how she has paper stuck on it? I'm probably not going to get that off, or actually the paper sort of ripped the adhesive off. I'm going to scrape it as much as I can, but it's okay. It doesn't matter because your mat is going to be like brand new after you restick it. So I will keep on using warm water. I'll rinse. So just here, watch how I do this. I don't know if you can, here, let me see if you can see my sink here. All right, I'm going to turn this up. I'm just going to rinse and keep doing this in the sink. And it doesn't matter that my mat bends a little. See that? So I usually, when I work on the counter, I'm going to just add some Dawn straight to my mat. And I'm just going to keep on scrubbing. Keep on scraping. And then I'll do this a couple more times, and then I'll do it to the other mat. I'll let them dry just a little bit. I want to keep them a little wet when I do the resticking, but I'm going to let them dry a little bit and put taper on the edges. So we'll check back with you after I do some scrubbing, and you will get to see my entire process of how I restick the Brother ScanNCut mats. See you soon. Crafty friends, I'm back. I've cleaned the mats with warm water, Dawn dishwashing liquid, a scraper, and here's what my sponge looks like. So you can see, I'm going to throw that out, but I just want to show you. That's all the adhesive that gets caught up in there. A little bit of adhesive left on there, it's okay. And the good news is I was able to get all the paper off of the other mat that had a lot of paper stuck on it. So now what I've done is I dried just the edges. Okay, I dried the edges and I added painter's tape. So just dry it with a paper towel and then leave the middle wet because you need it to be a little wet when you use the two-way glue. It just spreads easier. I've cut the side of the package open, but I'm starting from scratch so you can see what it looks like when you open it up. I had to go to Michael's yesterday and buy this, which kind of irked me because I had only a 20% coupon, and it was about $7.49. So it is cheaper on Amazon, and you can get a 2-pack. So please use my link if you want to get it cheaper. Unless, of course, you have a better coupon. Just right now, the coupons were not very good this week. See how I'm pushing down on it? It's blue. I'm trying to get the blue to come out. So when you first get this Jumbo Zig two-way glue, you have to get it to come out. See? Like that. This is a really nice one, the Jumbo one, because it spreads very easily. So you're going to get a bunch of it out. And you can, if you're afraid to touch glue, you can do this whole thing and get, spread it that way. But I personally like to use my fingers. So I'm going to show you how much I use about on the mat. So about that much. Mix with some water. You can see that there's water on my mat. Okay, so that's good. About that much. Put the lid on. All right, so two-way glue is fantastic. I used to use it on my stamps before they made good cling material. It is, right now, if you want to use it as an adhesive, you could get something to stick because it will dry. But when you leave it open like this, I mean, you could stick it onto paper and make it stick on things, what I'm saying. But when you want to use it as a restickable surface, kind of like the sticky note material, then you're going to put it on and it's blue and you're going to let it dry clear, and you can even do 2 layers, and then it will be like a restickable surface because there's nothing adhering on the other side of it. So I need a little bit more. Anyway, so that's what's great about the two-way glue. It's when it dries clear, it becomes like the sticky note material. So I'm just doing this with my hands. That's my preferred method, and that's why I put the tape on the sides, just so in case I go, then I can kind of go over the edges. But you don't want to get glue on those registration marks, because these mats are scanning and cutting mats. Now, cutting, what I mean is, you can buy a separate scanning mat. I think they're a waste of money personally, because I just scan and then I cut right away. But some people have a dedicated scanning mat. But I use my cutting mats for scanning, and that's why I like to keep those registration marks clear. So see how there's a nice coating all over it with the blue two-way glue. And like I said, I could do one more coating. So let's get the other mat. Let's do this one while I'm here. And I'm going to add a little bit of water because this one's not as wet. So you just, you can take, depends on how exact you want to be. I'm not an exact person. I'm just adding a little bit of water, see, with my hands, just from the sink. But you can use an eyedropper. I've done that too in the past. I'm going to add some two-way glue to this one, about that much. Again, mixed with a little bit of water so it spreads easier. Now, I've tried lots of different materials, lots of different solvents, and lots of different sticky glue, sticky adhesives on the ScanNCut mats. I've been doing this for so many years, and I find that two-way glue is the simplest and easiest and cheapest kind of thing. But I just want to mention, I will, in the link in the description, I'll put some links, and I'll show you my other videos. I've done things such as cut up a Cricut mat, because Cricut has a great sticky surface, but it's not the same size as a Brother ScanNCut mat. So I've actually cut up the Cricut mat and stuck it onto this mat. I've done that. I've used some stuff that was made in the UK. It's called like tacky adhesive or it's called matte adhesive. I've used that. It worked pretty good. I've purchased lots and lots of sprays. Okay, so this one's good too. This one's good. I might do another layer, but this one's good. I've done lots and lots of sprays like this. This is my mom's. This is like fabric adhesive. It's called temporary fabric spray and fix temporary fabric adhesive. Okay, this works. You may have heard of stencil spray, temporary glue spray. Those work, but they're very short-lived. So I've done lots of sprays and solvents. I've tried probably 20 different things for resticking mats. There's no right or wrong way, but the sprays last. I've even done a test. I actually put like tick marks on the back of my mats to see how long the sprays would last. And I guess after about 5 uses, they would totally not work anymore. So I'd have to spray them again. So I think that this one, this here, the two-way glue method, the Zig two-way glue, it works like for like say 20 uses or even more. It works like a long time. So that's why I like this. But there are lots of ways, and in the description of this video, there'll be links. There'll be links to other things you can do, and there'll be links to buy a new mat. So this is a lot cheaper than buying a new mat. So it was $7.49. I had a 20% coupon. Of course, there was tax, so that kind of eliminated most of that coupon. But anyway, this is still cheaper than buying a mat, which costs you over $20. But there'll be a link to buy a new mat if you want to buy new mats and save yourself lots of time. It makes your ScanNCut experience so much better when you have sticky mats. You just really are dead in the water if you don't have sticky mats. See, I'm just showing you that this one's already dry and clear. So again, I'm going to let these dry, put another layer on them, wash my hands, get rid of the sponge so I don't use it on dishes, peel off this tape, and then I will let you see what the stickiness is when I'm all done. And then I'm back in business. I can use the ScanNCut easily again and have a pleasant experience. So definitely you need to restick your mats or get new mats to have the most effective ScanNCut experience is what I'm saying. All right, so we'll be back. And in the comments, please, before I forget, if I don't say it at the end of the video, is please, feel free to share what you do to restick your mat. Whether you're watching this video in my Brother ScanNCut user group, the Papered Chef ScanNCut user group on Facebook, or if you're watching this on my Facebook page or you're watching this on YouTube, just go ahead and write in the comments like what kind of method you use, because there's no right or wrong way of resticking your mat. We like to learn from each other. I like to experiment. I can tinker with some other methods and show them in the future, so feel free to do that. I'll check back with you after these dry. I'm back. It's been about an hour. My mats are very sticky. I added 2 layers of the two-way glue. I added the second layer before the first layer was fully dry to coat it. And I just wanted to let my crafty friends hear the sticky sound of a mat. That's a great sound. If your mat doesn't sound like that and you have to do so much work to tape it, to keep your paper from slipping, then you need to restick your mat or get a new mat. Either way, there'll be links in the description on resticking videos, such as we have this one, we have a couple others I've done. I have links to some materials you can use to restick. Or you can just go ahead and get yourself a new mat if you don't have time to restick your mat or you can't be bothered. And you can never really have too many mats. I have probably about 50 because they get holes in them sometimes, or you have projects set up on them and maybe things are, I just don't get rid of things. I guess I'm craft hoarder, what can I say? So that's all for now. This is the Papered Chef. Let me know if you have any questions. Bye.